20-minute decrease temperature timer. 30-minute remove the lid timer. 60-minute bread is ready timer.